Hi friends, welcome back to another video. So excited to have you here again. Today in this video, I want to talk about what started my YouTube journey in the first place. I've told you before, I am a very new content creator. I've watched YouTube for years, but have never dived into the world of YouTube as a creator up until this point. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about my journey and all the amazing aspects that I've already learned along the way of sharing these videos with you. But for those who don't know me or are new to the channel, my name is Jess LeMay. My mission here on YouTube is really just to share all the education and the knowledge that and the inspiration and motivation that has come my way over the last 10 plus years that has helped me get out of a really negative mindset, toxic cycles that always followed me, very little self-worth. And so over this time of self-development and self-care, I can now say that it's complete opposite. What I am learning right now is how to share my voice and my message in a positive way that my introverted self can also not lead into burnout. And so if you resonate with that, if you are someone who feels very low on your self-worth or self-care, or is feeling pulled into the direction of small, sustainable, reachable habits, and this will be a wonderful channel for you. And so if you feel called to, I'd love if you subscribed so you see more of my content, and let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what holds you back. So let's dive into today's topic. So I started on this journey just recently, literally a month ago. And so far, all that I've learned has been so incredible. Over the last 7 years, I've been called to share my voice and my message in some way in an online setting, but I just never knew how to figure out where I wanted to share that message. That led me into YouTube, and though it's only been 1 month into my journey out of 7 years that I've really wanted to share my message, this has resonated with me the most. So funny story, I actually started this challenge called Talk to a Camera for 30 Days challenge. And that's what honestly led me into the YouTube world. I was creating videos and I was like, I should try to create an informative video, chop it up, edit it, and put it online. And that could be a start. And when I finally did that, that's what introduced me to YouTube. But funny story. So 5 years ago, I was diving into this fixation of public speaking. And so I was researching all these famous public speakers and all the advice that they had for someone who was just starting out speaking. And I was thinking how cool it would be to be a public speaker. Now, I am an introvert, very much an introvert. I speak very well with one-on-one with somebody, but in a group setting, it's almost sad. It's almost sad what I turn into because I am not a public speaker. Plus, up until this point, using my voice has never been my strong suit. So my passion is more so in writing or singing someone else's work or doing something else besides speaking my voice in front of other people. There's nothing more challenging for me. So the funny part is that from 5 years ago having that hyperfixation, it's now 5 years later, and I was actually offered a teaching position with my own knowledge to my local community. Now, that in itself was an invitation that I couldn't resist. It was definitely out of my comfort zone, but it was something that I was like, obviously I was manifesting it from 5 years ago, and now is the time that it's coming forward. I gotta do this at least once to figure out what I like about it or if it's even for me. And let me tell you, that first class was honestly so sad. I was so overwhelmed. I thought I was so prepared, just going in there, teaching what I know, but I was a complete mess. I had forgotten my water, my throat was really dry, my tongue swelled up. It was like my body was like freaking out, you know? It was very sad for me, very sad. Leading into this 30-day challenge of talking to a camera, it's actually built my confidence up. Starting this YouTube channel has actually really built my confidence in talking to a camera. It's crazy. And even outside of YouTube and talking to a camera, I can feel my voice feeling more grounded, more believable in what I'm saying. Like I'm more confident in the way I speak. And that's huge to me, going from someone who was very shaky with their voice. And I mean, like, I can still kind of notice some shakes in my voice every once in a while. But for the most part, I have made some huge impacts on where I started to where I am now. It makes me very happy that though I'm getting out of my comfort zone, I'm getting more comfortable and my comfort zone is actually expanding. The next thing I want to touch on is, I said this before, but I am very much a multi-passionate person. Give me all the hobbies, teach me all the things. I am all about learning and greeting it with joy and curiosity. I love it. Going into this journey, I've actually had to dabble in so many different hobbies, such as editing, writing, learning the technology, becoming a videographer, photographer, knowing what is aesthetically pleasing to what is not, and getting better at that every single time I create a video. And add on their public speaker. I mean, you fill so many hats creating a YouTube channel. It's actually very fun, as long as I stay in that fun mindset of I am doing this out of joy and I'm doing it out of like I'm fulfilling a higher purpose that I feel called to do. That is when I love what I do. But if I'm forcing it and I'm paying attention to the algorithm and I'm paying attention to the analytics of things, best bet, I am going to burn out so quick. So I'm also learning about myself in the process. If you are someone who is multi-passionate like me, then you would also enjoy this. So like I said, I'm not one to use my voice. It's something that I've always struggled with. This struggle of not wanting to be seen or heard. I battled with, like, out of 7 billion people, what is so important to what I have to say? But throughout my journey of personal development, all has been something that is so strong that I had to overcome that and find my way through burnout, through failure. I mean, it's not even failing, right? It's learning through the challenges and the ebbs and flows of putting yourself out there. There's so much to learn in someone's message, and every single voice that you come across has a reason for it. It may not be for this handful of people, but it's going to be exactly what this handful of people need to hear to help them through something. And that's the message that continues me on my journey. That somewhere someone will find me in this ever-ending ocean of social media, that whatever I have to say and whatever I've overcome will be of use to someone who needs it at that time. So even if you've leaned into the thought of doing social media or YouTube, but just feel like you're not, like your voice isn't important or your message isn't going to be heard, I suggest you try your best to quiet that voice and just dive into it messy and just give it a try and see what you think of it. And you never know what could come out of it. Either way, whether you get seen, people like you, and you get the comments and the likes and the subscriptions, either way, you're putting yourself out there to get to know yourself more. There's no downside to it when you view it like that. So I'm actually turning 30 this month, actually here in a few weeks. And if you are familiar with human design, I'm the 6'2" profile. And what I really took from learning about my human design was that my life had transitions in it. And from my first 30 years, it was just more about learning about myself and taking in all the lessons and the knowledge that I was meant to learn. And then in the last phase of life, or the next 30 years, I'm basically stepping into that role model phase, and I can't express of how true this really has been. From I started my education really, like diving into the online platform when I was 22 years old. And from 22 to 29 has been a huge difference in me and how I showed up and what my voice was like and if I was ready. And I don't think any of us are ever really ready to jump into something like this where you're kind of faced with outside judgment, but really what the bigger message really outweighs the fear of judgment coming your way. I don't know, there's just something really beautiful about taking up space and showing up and sharing your message because it's valid, and the trials and the struggles that we go through. And once you find ways to overcome that and share your story, it can be so powerful and inspirational for someone else. So if you have been wanting to dive into any form of social media, I highly encourage you to take that step forward and to go for it. So that is my message for my YouTube journey and what it's taught me so far in just 1 month. If you got something from this video, I would absolutely appreciate a like on this video and even a subscribe if you vibe with me, and I welcome you with open arms and warm energy. So that'll do it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.